Hello world, Frida, Reba, Darcy, and Patricia O'Connor here today. Look, the aftermath of the Bonsai Balcony. We stayed up a little while for a little after show party, I suppose. Today is a very overcast. I know I promised a sunny, beautiful day, and I apparently Pat lied. This is what we look like on our cloudy days when it's cloudy out on the balcony. Frankly, I love it. It's very contrasty. It's also different than what we typically see for a lot of the time of the year. So when the weather starts kind of showing us the cloudy side, I always like the difference. A couple of months of this and I'd be over it. But yeah, it's always, and it also makes when I used to shoot SLR single lens reflex, photography, I always enjoyed shooting more on cloudy days for the kind of photography that I like to do. So yeah, this is just a little quick look at our balcony. I am just going to I need to grab some scissors. These will work for scissors. So quick look. All right, last night on the show, I had the camera set up a little ways away from the room, and this is our Dawn Redwood. Here's what I was talking about. That was from the string that I had. So we need to get over that little. But you can also see this guy is just, again, it's mid-November and the tree is just full of buds everywhere. I can't get them to focus, but they're full of buds everywhere. And I'm just kind of wondering how that's gonna, are you guys still gonna be hanging out several months from now? But this is a little daylight look at how our Dawn Redwood came out. And the idea to me is that we're already getting this to roll over, and we'll get this to become part of that, and we'll get this to become part of that rollover. And then somewhere up here, we'll try to get those to fuse. Either, we've got a ways till we have to worry about that. But when they get fatter and they get tighter in together, we'll figure out if we want to do some carving to better facilitate that or not. And what we did last night was we cut off a huge branch here that kind of had us doing one of those in favor of the smaller diameter branch here. I could put some cut paste there, I suppose. And we did a big old huge chop right here where this piece continued about a frame, and then wired this one up straight up to be the new leader in town, and then we wired this one flat to be a new leader, and then to be a new branch, and then we wired this one flat after we cut this huge one back over here. So that was quite a bit, and this is a better look at how that all came out. Now I'm gonna go back in here and see. This is the tree this is our little oak, and now we can see that you can really see the difference in lighting on the balcony when on a day like today when it's overcast. All of the sudden, our lighting is what dictates the look. If not the f-stop as much, I don't know. We're still getting a lot. You get as much sun on a cloudy day, and as anybody knows who goes to the beach, you can certainly get sunburned on a cloudy day, but the sun diffuses more. It's gonna fill in more in places where it isn't necessarily shining directly. Like the sun is coming out of a shower head or something. It goes, when it comes through the clouds, it fans out more. In the film business, we would do that with something called diffusion. It was basically it was the best way to describe it would be a shower curtain. It looked like an opaque shower curtain, but it could stand the high temperatures of primitive movie bulbs. It would get like super hot. So the tree was rotated around and I couldn't get these sides yesterday. So this makes for an opportunity for me to get in here and take the tips off. And I'm leaving the lengths, but I'm taking the tips. And we're expecting to see some, that's all so tight. It's too bad. I kind of would have left a little bit more than that if I could have gotten my printers in there tight enough to do that, but I didn't think I could, so. Anyway, I'm just gonna cut these guys while we're here. And all right. I haven't watered today, but everybody still looks very watered from yesterday. I don't know if it's sprinkled. I don't think it's sprinkled. This guy, I didn't water this guy yesterday, and it needs watering. When I'm done shooting, I'll water this guy. And that's a quick look at our trident maple that we pruned back yesterday. Let's kind of step back and take another gander at the fall colors we have going. Like I said, on overcast days like today, instead of the sun beaming in and our lights kind of fill in a little bit, but they mostly blend because those are daylight spectrum. It's actually full spectrum, but it looks to me to be daylight spectrum, to the naked eye anyway. But on an overcast day, these guys dictate the look of the balcony more, and I always like the look of it. I always think that our lighting looks, I have seen plant lights before that were colors that I didn't think were as flattering, and it isn't about, we're not setting up lighting for a magazine shoot here. It's not about what we're going to dictate to be this or that, but I just think that it's a kind of a lucky break that the lights that we selected put out sort of a pleasing spectrum. It adds to the overall ambiance to the balcony. Not only does it add to the ambience, but it adds to the look of the balcony in a way that I think we can get away with. This is the tree that I was saying last night I have such a hard time getting in the shot. I have trees that are at least this tall. The ones that are behind me, the cypress trees, are this tall, but they're bigger and fatter and appear more massive in a shot where the camera is would be across the room trying to work on them. When I have to set camera up across the room to shoot this guy, I'm not as pleased with the results when I do, because I have to rearrange the furniture and I have to get that furniture out of the shot, which means I end up moving a lot more stuff than you would think. And then nobody can see. And what we would be seeing is I need to rewire every one of these because they're looking kind of saggy, and put them back in position and go through and clean up a few needles. And the tree looks like it's sitting on a bird's nest. That's all of its escape route. So, I get to have a little bonsai fun, I guess, and just do this without the rest of us, rather than just me and the tree be a speck in a video. So that's kind of what I was kind of waiting to do this as the next project, but I hadn't really figured out how I would best do this. I don't want to do it one-handed. I mean, we can look at it right now, but I'm not working on it right now. So, and I'm not trying to wire it one-handed. So that's kind of where I was going. That's kind of where I was going with that. Oops. I didn't rotate this tree around, but I did get everything except for that, as far as I can see. When it comes to cutting back the tip. So I've kind of already done it. And here's a good example. You can see what I'm talking about. We've got this little branch shot out here from the bottom. And then look how much distance there is between those two nodes. That's just a long bit of nothing. At some point, when I'm feeding and watering and stuff, and I'm looking at these long branches, I may decide that I want to cut them back some. And if I don't see buds there, it'll be interesting to see whether or not I can still force some sort of back bud this way. I don't know if I can, but that'll be part of the thing I want to check when I'm growing these branches out longer, these little limbs out longer. That's one thing I want to know. If I don't see buds left on a limb that I've allowed to get long, will pruning the tip, along with feeding and along with the watering and along with the other stuff we've learned, will that cause it to make a bud site when it doesn't have one? Or will it just give up that piece of lumber? That's my question. I may already know, but that's my... Anyway, this is just a little short, cloudy day, Sunday, after we had a very productive day yesterday. We got a lot of pruning done, and we got a lot of work done. To that. I'm kind of reluctant to put it back in that hole. It's hard to weed there. Not only am I not the fireball when it comes to weeding this tree, but putting it farther away out of reach didn't keep me from watering it, because I have long spouts in my watering cans, but it did keep me from doing that's not much of an excuse, but I didn't need much of an excuse. I was already being pretty lame when it came to weeding this thing, and moving it farther in there didn't help. But this is where we got on that. I think I've gotten quite a bit done on the weeding too. I could probably go through and wipe down this pot while I have it out. Like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. Today is it's just a really low-key Sunday, and Frida and I are pretty much kicking back, not doing a whole lot. As far as even watering is concerned, I'm going to water this guy, and I'm going to water the cypress trees. And the before mentioned pine looks a little dry. It's underpotted, so it should always be a little dry first. Yeah, I appreciate you. Frida appreciates you. And our next drop will probably be midweek, Wednesday. And thank you all so much for watching.